Hey everyone, Doug here with Big Red Pen. In this quick fix, we're going to be looking at auxiliary verbs. Now we know that a sentence can be as simple as two words, a subject and a verb. When we have an independent clause like that, you usually have a fully functioning sentence, though not really a great one. If you want to make your writing more complex and more attractive, you need to understand auxiliary verbs. And you need to understand that you're going to hear the word verb about 100 times in this quick fix. Joking aside, what are auxiliary verbs? Auxiliary verbs are a particular type of verb that modify the main verb in the sentence. They couple with the main verb to change what the sentence means or when it takes place. The most common auxiliary verbs you're going to see are the verbs be, do, and have, and their different forms. Last week, we looked at be in active and passive writing. This auxiliary verb can be used to create passive writing or create a continuous tense. Here are some examples. Carrie is driving home. The book was read by Tarn. The birds were seen by the bird watchers. In these examples, be appears as the words is, was, and were. Do you notice how they change when the verb is happening and, in the last two examples, create a passive voice? Next, we will look at do. The auxiliary verb do is used to ask questions, make negatives, or emphasize details. Here are some examples. Do you know the answer? I didn't care for their cooking. She did read it, she did. Do, didn't, and did are all examples of the verb do. Can you see how the auxiliary verb makes a question, a negative, or emphasizes another verb? Lastly, have is used to make perfect tenses of verbs, which means the verb was performed at a single point in time, either in the past, present, or in the future. In the present perfect, we have traveled very far. In the past perfect, we had traveled very far. In the future perfect, we will have traveled very far. Notice how the verb have changes with each different kind of tense, and the main verb traveled is affected as to when it actually occurred. Now, auxiliary verbs might seem overwhelming at first, or you might think that you don't need them, but a good understanding of auxiliary verbs is needed for strong, clear writing. To make things a little more complicated though, there's another group of auxiliary verbs known as modal verbs. We'll be covering those in our next quick fix. For now, leave a comment down below that uses one of the auxiliary verbs we discussed here, or, if you're feeling adventurous, leave a sentence with each. And be sure to check out our website for free resources to improve your writing. This was Doug with Big Red Pen. Thanks for stopping by, and happy writing.